Imagine a 9-year-old so fiercely stubborn that she literally researches the market price of ventriloquist dummies online just to call her dad's bluff.
Right. I mean, it is wild.
Yeah. So welcome to today's deep dive. We're unpacking a stack of your notes and sources on this crazy narrative story about a family's sheer battle of wills. Basically, our mission today is exploring the psychology of childhood curiosity and, well, the extreme lengths parents will go to for just a little compliance.
And at the center of this whole battle is Heather. She's 9, armed with, just weaponized sass, and she is totally unimpressed by her dad, Rick's ultimate threat.
Right, the mysterious dummy in the top of the closet.
Exactly. It's this unproven threat, but he uses it to keep her in line.
Okay, let's unpack this because, parental threats are usually like a currency.
Yeah, they need backing.
Right. They only work if the kid actually believes the parents have the funds in the bank to back them up. So Rick's threat is basically the equivalent of yelling, "I'm turning this car around."
Which is a bluff kids eventually learn to call.
Exactly. And Heather knows her dad's account is just completely overdrawn.
Yeah, so because verbal threats were clearly bankrupt, her parents realized they had to escalate things. The theoretical threat just wasn't working.
So they set up a sting operation.
Pretty much a physical sting operation, yeah. Rick and his wife Donna announced they're going on this much-needed date night, leaving Heather and her little brother Devin with the babysitter.
And Heather instantly realizes this is her chance. Her calculation here is just impressive.
Oh, completely.
She excuses herself to the bathroom, grabs a ladder, and then when the squeak alerts the babysitter, he casually lies. She claims she's just reaching for a toy for the cat.
Classic. So she digs through her parents' closet, finds nothing, but then she hears this rustling coming from the attic access door.
And the attic door is jammed, right?
Yeah, it is. So Heather leans in and actually whispers, "If you can hear me, tap 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And from the other side, tap, tap, tap."
That is terrifying.
Right. And then this whimsical, whiny voice starts repeating her questions back to her. She actually engages in a full conversation with whatever is behind that door.
So what does this all mean? Because I have to admit, I'm genuinely confused here. We just established Heather is a sharp skeptic.
Yeah, she really is.
She literally Googled the cost of dummies to prove her dad couldn't afford one. Shouldn't she immediately assume this voice is just a prank?
You would think so, yeah.
Yet, according to the story, she feels this weird sense of security talking to the door. Right up until she pulls it open, sees a little wooden hand and a moving jaw, and then just absolutely loses it. She sprints away, terrified. Why does her logic completely fail her the second she sees the hand?
Well, what's fascinating here is the mechanics of the brain's threat detection system. So Heather's logical brain, the prefrontal cortex, it did the math on the family finances.
Right.
But the moment she sees a moving wooden jaw, her amygdala takes over. And the amygdala doesn't do math, it just triggers an immediate fight or flight response.
Because logic requires processing time.
Exactly. Whereas fear is instantaneous. The physical, visceral proof of that little hand completely short-circuited her logical deduction.
Wow. But the scariest part of this story isn't even the dummy. It's the reality of the phenomenon. Because that monster she saw was entirely man-made.
Yeah, Rick and Donna never actually left the house.
Oh my gosh.
They staged the entire date night just to sit in a stuffy, sweltering attic, eating a box of pizza and drinking Diet Dr. Pepper alongside a real wooden puppet.
Wait, really? So Rick was up there doing the voice and shoving the dummy's hand through the cracked door?
He was, and this actually sparks a massive debate right there in the attic. Donna calls the stunt a scary kind of manipulative.
Which is fair, but Rick defends it, right?
Yeah, he defends it pretty coldly. He calls the dummy a teaching tool that gets results, mainly because Heather did run away, vowing to behave.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it brings up the whole behavioral impact of manufacturing fear to force compliance. Like, Rick isn't teaching Heather why she should behave.
No, not at all. He's simply bypassing her defiance with sheer terror.
Right.
It achieves the immediate goal, sure, but it relies entirely on a foundation of deception. And operating like this can really warp a child's trust in their own reality testing.
Because Heather was right about the finances.
Exactly. But the stunt taught her to doubt her own correct deductions.
Which brings this right back to you listening right now. We all face daily negotiations, whether you're trying to manage a team of colleagues, get your kids to listen, or even just force yourself to meet a deadline.
Absolutely.
How often do we rely on inventing monsters in the closet just to get immediate results?
It's a really tempting shortcut. I mean, fear is a highly effective short-term motivator.
But what about the long game? Think about that currency we talked about earlier. When Heather inevitably grows up and discovers that the terrifying dummy was just her dad armed with a wooden puppet and a slice of pizza.
Oh boy.
Right. Will that ultimate betrayal of trust trigger a rebellion far worse than the dummy ever prevented? Think on that the next time you're tempted to invent a monster of your own.